Hi friend, I just wanted to take a minute to invite you to our Lash Biz Babes Experience 2026. This is a one-day all online event happening on May 2nd, and our theme for the year is going all in. We are shaking things up and doing it differently than anyone ever has before. This is going to be an all online event as usual, but it's going to be 100% a curated journey throughout your day as we guide you through the mindset, strategy, and passion needed to go all in on your business to make it your best year in business yet. All lash artists, estheticians, and beauty professionals are invited to join us. There will be guided sessions, interactive workshops, a panel discussion, and big giveaways happening throughout that whole day. And tickets are on sale now for only $199. Payment plans are available. Let's go all in on our businesses for 2026 together. All the details and the link for tickets are down in the show notes below. I would love to have you join us online in May. Welcome to Lash Biz Babes, the podcast for solo beauty business owners who want to build a full clientele and create a business and life that they truly love. My name is Erica. I'm your host. I'm a lash artist turned beauty business coach, lash educator, and social media manager for salons and beauty businesses. I'm so happy that you're here. Let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. Welcome to this week's episode of Lash Biz Babes. I'm happy to have you here. I'm your host, Erica, and this week I'm going to be answering a question I got a little while back, asking about, how do I get things done? How do I manage my time as a mom and as a business owner? So if you don't have kids, you're not a parent, still stick with me here because I think we're going to be talking about some different skills that are really good to hear or consider, or, in my case, I had to get better at. Whether you have kids or not, even if you're just busy or you want to be more productive and make sure that you're hitting deadlines and moving your business forward, I think these are all going to be really important things to hear. So even if you're not a parent, please stick with me because I think it's going to be beneficial for all of us. And honestly, I don't want to come out into this trying to act like I'm totally perfect with this and that I'm always super productive and I never have a bad day or anything like that. But I have had to really learn a lot of things as a parent to be able to grow my business and do things efficiently. And with just naturally having a busy schedule with having 3 kids and our business and the podcast and the conference and all of these different things going on. So I'm just candidly going to share some of my struggles and some of my experiences and some of the things that I've learned and some of the things that have really helped me in this process because it's all been a self-growth process more than anything. So the first thing I will say is that when I had 2 kids and I was running my lash business, getting into podcasting, doing all of those things, I feel like I had a much easier time with managing business life with mom life. I was in a season where I was really enjoying motherhood. Things were flowing, things felt good, I had support, and it's been a very different experience now that we've moved where we don't have other family and we don't necessarily have other support outside of myself and my husband that is physically here in Idaho with us. That has made a big difference in the experience for me in the sense that we've also had just a lot of harder things in life happening in the last couple of years, and that has really tested everything I thought I knew about business and motherhood, and it has really put me through like a refining fire. I've really had to I don't know if relearn everything I thought I knew, but it's tested what I knew, it's refined it, it's helped me develop new skills, new habits, new ways of thinking. And I've really had to learn to stick to my dedication and my willpower versus being motivated to do things. And I think that's made a big difference for me. Quite frankly, I've just been in a season of life the last couple of years where motherhood has just been very hard for me. I love my kids. I love my babies. I strive to be the best mom I can be every day, but I definitely fall short and I have my hardships and I have my days. But I think at the end of the day, being a good mom and balancing, quote unquote, balancing all the things isn't necessarily about being the perfect parent and never making a mistake or never struggling. It's more so that you're waking up and you're trying every single day because not everyone is willing to wake up and keep trying and keep going. And not everyone is willing to kind of look at how they're contributing to those issues that are causing some of the struggles and causing some of the overwhelm. Because that's something that even recently I had to take a long, hard look at of what I was doing that was contributing to how overwhelmed I felt with motherhood and business and trying to manage scaling our social media management business while trying to be a present parent and do all the things. So there's a lot that I've learned with that. And I think first and foremost, without trying to share like tips or strategies or techniques or skills right off the bat, right up front. I think what's really important for you to figure out whether you are a parent or not is where your priorities lie within your life and within your business, because those priorities are more likely what's going to get done. And if it is a priority, even if you have a huge to do list, it's going to fall towards the top of that. So you kind of have to decide, what are my priorities? What's really important to me to make sure that it's getting done. So, first and foremost, for me, because I am a parent and I am a mother, my kids, of course, come first. If they are sick, I will reschedule things, right? If they have a dance recital, I'm gonna move my online conference to another weekend, and that's what I did this year. My daughter had a dance recital the same weekend that I normally do the conference, and so I literally changed the dates before we really kind of went hardcore with advertising for that, because my priority is with my kids, and I didn't create this business to be wrapped up in business all the time and not there for those big things in their life. And a dance recital might not seem like that big of a thing, but for me it is, because I was the kid who, my mom was great, but like I had a biological father, still have a biological father who doesn't show up and who hasn't been there. And so I was the kid looking up in the crowd wondering if he would ever show up, and how cool would that be if he just randomly surprised me or showed up, and like feeling that disappointment and that hurt of them not being there, of him not being there. And that's something that's been consistent in my life for me, unfortunately, even up into my adult years with, he didn't come to my wedding, he's never met my kids, like there's so many different things, right? It's extremely important to me to be there for my kids, so it falls absolute first priority for me, and that might look different for everybody, and that's okay, but you do need to decide, where do your priorities lie, right? So for me, it's my kids first. Secondly, it's client deadlines. I wanna make sure we're giving our clients a really good experience. Now, obviously, my business type is a little bit different than yours now, so you're gonna have to think about this in terms of your business, whatever that looks like, whether you're an educator or a service-based business or a product line, things like that. What types of deadlines do you have within your business or even your personal life that are a priority for you, that you need to be hitting those deadlines? And third thing for me is client communication. Like, even if I am busy as all get out and I have a huge to-do list, I will be responding to clients before I get other things done to make sure that we have good communication, they feel heard and valued and taken care of, and I'm relaying the information that I need to the right team member and trying to really give them a good experience. So for me, those are three things that are really top priority. And my husband goes in there with the kids too. Like, he falls in that same category for me of like being a priority. If he is sick or if he has things going on for his business, that is something that I take into account. Don't let me make you feel like I'm leaving my husband out of this, because he's absolutely a priority for me as well. Our marriage is very important to me, and my kids are very important to me. So those are specifically where my priorities lie, but you have to decide, where do your priorities lie? Because that's going to inform a lot of how you balance your day to day and how you manage your time day to day. Because I think that's the next important thing to talk about, is time management. I have not always been good at time management. Pretty sure I have ADHD. We were the kind of family growing up that was always running late, waking up late, all the things. And I've just realized in my adult life that, like, I thrive on routine. I thrive when I have a schedule that I'm sticking to. I thrive when, like, I'm not sleeping in and I'm waking up on time and I'm sticking to what I said I was going to do. And so, because I know those things about me, that's kind of helped inform my time management. And I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm perfect with it. I have my days, I run late sometimes, but I know for a fact that it has gotten 1,000 times better than it was previous, especially when I was like single. Like, my time management as a parent is so much better. Like, night and day difference in such a good way. So I think time management is important, and to really look at, how are you spending your time during your day? If you know, okay, I'm always running late, what could be potentially triggering that? So you kind of have to look at like cause and effect here, right? I've talked about this, I think, in terms of like, if I know if I stay up late on my phone, I'm going to have a hard time waking up in the morning. So you can kind of look at that and say, okay, here's the problem that I'm having. I'm always running late. here's what I feel like could be contributing to that. So for me, if I'm running late, it probably has to do with I'm waking up late. If I wake up late for the day, it will throw my day off and I will run behind the rest of the day. Point in case last week where I accidentally missed my alarm after being up with my son while he was throwing up at night, and it just threw my entire day off. I ran late for every appointment and meeting and everything the rest of the day. So that's something where it's like, I know, and even not in that specific case of like, obviously I was up with my son who was sick, but just I know if I don't wake up earlier than my kids, if I'm not waking up to my alarm, it's going to kind of throw my day off. That's something that I know about myself. So I think a lot of this, you want to be more productive, you want to get more done, you want to feel good, you want to be like growing your business and managing your time better. It's kind of, you have to get to know yourself and be able to look at the things that maybe you're not as good at or maybe that you can do better. And it doesn't have to mean you're a bad person or a bad mom, a bad parent, a bad business owner. It just means, hey, how can we utilize this time better? How can I improve as a person? So, like I said earlier, it's a lot of self improvement that I feel like has helped contribute to being able to be what I would consider highly productive while still being a present parent and getting things done that I need to every day. And it's not that I don't feel overwhelmed in the process sometimes, but I do try to really manage my time well to be highly productive and to grow our company in the meantime. And so I think a lot of that has to do with you have to grow as a person and you have to be willing to look at the parts of you that maybe you don't show on the internet or you don't share with other people and that you could do better with or you could improve some things on. So for me, I knew I could improve on time management. I could wake up to my alarm. I could set my phone down at night and go to sleep. Those were things that really helped me contribute to my time management better. And then it also kind of had to look at where am I wasting my time because I know my priorities lie with my kids and my business right now. So if I'm, and there's nothing wrong, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with watching TV sometimes or watching a movie with your family or spending time with your kids or having downtime. But if it's something that's consuming like your day to day and you're more focused on binge watching a TV show, or in my case, I was like binge playing games on my phone because I just get like so ADHD focused on it and I want to get to the next level. That's something that I know doesn't contribute to moving the needle forward in my business. And I know, okay, I'm not going to tell myself, oh, you can't play a game on your phone. Oh, you can't watch a show. Oh, you can't watch TV. But I am going to give myself a time limit and try my best to stick to it. So, okay, let's give 10 minutes to play this game and have a little downtime, right? So, you can give yourself limits around that. And I think that's something that's really helped my time management better. And it's not like I'm being super strict, like I can't do anything for fun or I can't do these things that I enjoy, but it can't be something that's taking up all of my time. I can't spend hours on my phone or hours watching TV or binge watching things or whatever that might look like for you and expect to be productive and get everything done that I need to between my house and my kids and clients and business and the podcast and all of the things. I think you've really got to look at how am I spending my time? Where am I wasting my time? And what could be contributing to maybe some of the issues that you're having. So I'll give you another example of this. One issue that I noticed I was having was feeling really overwhelmed during the day because I would have so many things to do for work, but I would need to clean and I would have kids activities to go take them to. So obviously that I needed to take them to that but the dishes weren't done. So it was like I was having this issue of feeling really overwhelmed, but I wasn't doing anything about it in the sense of like trying to put any kind of system in place. So what actually really helped me with that was like, okay, I need better systems on my back end for how I'm managing my time. So instead of scrolling TikTok for an hour before bed, I'm going to take 30 minutes of that and go do the dishes and go pick up clutter off the floor, go put some toys away. And just something so small as like a 20 to 30-minute time frame of making sure I go pick things up and change the laundry, do the dishes before bed. That's something that has been so beneficial for me to keep up on top of things, not feel so overwhelmed the next day. And then also the mental clarity that it gives me to have a clean space and an organized space around me is unmatched in my productivity levels. And maybe you're different with that. But for me, if I have a clean environment, the dishes aren't overpiling out of the sink or whatever, I'm going to work a lot better and I'm going to be able to focus much better on my kids and on my work and on my client work because I'm not going to be stressed about how cluttered the house is. So it could be little things like that with your time management of where are you maybe wasting some time where you could be using it in other ways, even if it's a small amount of time that can just help you feel better for the next day? And how can you take a look at where you're spending your time and ensuring that you have systems in place for, like, for me, keeping up on cleaning is something that's hard for me to do, and it's been hard for me to do, like, my whole life. So having systems and habits in place where it's like, no, that's something I automatically do as I go do the dishes before bed. The brain power it takes to do that is so much less at this point now that it's a habit. So it's just sometimes little systems like that, little habits like that that make a really big difference. And that can start with something as simple as just like making your bed in the morning if you don't, and like then being able to habit stack from there. And I think another thing too, especially as a parent where I do have so much going on, with kids' schedules and business and my husband's business and client work and the house things. I've got so much going on all the time. I get so overwhelmed sometimes because I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got so many things to do. And I've kind of gotten to the point where I realize that, like, I'm never going to get everything done that I need to do all of the time. I'm never going to, at the end of the day, get everything done that I wanted to by the end of the day. So, what I've had to do is I'll do like a brain dump when I am in that position where I've got a lot going on and just write out everything that I can think of that I need to do. And then I'm going to organize it by like what's the priorities and what are the deadlines. And I'm always going to try and do the deadline things first at the beginning of the day. So then if I don't revisit it towards the end of the day or things get crazy, because I know for myself, I'm the most productive in the morning. I have the best energy in the morning. So being able to get my deadlines done then helps me out a ton. But what I also know about myself, and especially as a parent with kids, by the time, like, after school rolls around and dinner time, I'm super overstimulated, the kids are going nuts, they're ready for dad to come home, I'm ready for dad to come home, and, like, I know that that's not gonna be a great time to be productive other than, like, making dinner or, like, having the kids help me pick things up around the house. I'm not gonna be productive inside of my business at that time, so I need to make sure those deadlines are done at the beginning of the day if there is anything going on that specific day. So I think planning out your calendar and your deadlines is something that is a huge, like, it's made such a big difference for me to be able to manage my time better and just making sure I'm getting the things done that I need to, because I think sometimes we give ourselves like busy work where we have all these things to do and some of them aren't like that important for moving the needle in your business. So that's another thing you kind of have to decide, like, is this an activity that's actually going to help me push things forward? Because like if I don't know, say I'm trying to think of an example of maybe what wouldn't be a needle moving task, right? So if you didn't get it done for the day, you're going to be okay. And that might be something of like deep cleaning your studio, right? Obviously, that's something that's important to do for your business, but is it a needle moving activity that has a deadline? Not necessarily. Obviously, keep your space with your clients clean if they're going to be laying down, washing your sheets, wiping things down, things like that. Cleaning your tools, making sure all of those things are taken care of, but like reorganizing shelves or deep cleaning, yes, that is a task for your business that should be getting done, but it doesn't have a deadline and it shouldn't be like, I feel like it's more busy work sometimes. And so that might be something where if you're feeling overwhelmed, you might do something like that instead. But now you're still feeling overwhelmed because your deadlines aren't done, but at least you got everything organized, right? So that's just an example of like something that's been for me in the past where I'm kind of like giving myself busy work, right? Or another example is like, okay, especially when I was in my lash business and stuff, like I always felt like I needed to be online all the time to try and get clients, right? And I had to be scrolling and I had to be looking for reel ideas or TikTok ideas and scrolling through there. That's not something that's going to move the needle for your business. And that's not something that it has a deadline and it's not something that's going to help you be productive. It's kind of just like you're telling yourself that, oh, I'm doing this for my business. Oh, but it's not going to move the needle. It's not productive. It's not actually helping you. It's more busy work. And I think you kind of have to look at that and cut some of those things out if you want to be more productive and use your time more wisely and really focus on what deadlines do I have? What's actually going to move the needle? And really hone in on those tasks instead. It's not like you can't deep clean your studio, but like if you have a bunch of other deadlines to get done that day, do those first because you're going to feel a lot less stressed out and a lot less overwhelmed if they're already done, even if it does feel overwhelming to begin with. So, those are things that have really helped me. And all in all, just being a parent and a business owner, I've really, really had to just get laser focused and I can't rely on motivation. I have to rely on habits. I have to rely on systems. I have to rely on processes that I've set up and put in place to make sure that things aren't falling through the cracks and things are getting done because otherwise I get really overwhelmed. I'm not going to lie. I get overstimulated easily. but it makes it a lot easier when I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I don't feel like doing the dishes. Oh, I don't feel like doing this specific thing." It's like, well, I don't have to feel like it. This is just what I do. This is the routine, Erica. This is what we do. And it's a lot easier and takes up a lot less brain power from you. And I just know that, like, this is our routine. This is the schedule. This is the systems we have in place. And these are the good habits that we have. So I think really taking a look at your habits is something that, and trying to improve and work on those, it's going to make a big difference for you if you want to be more productive with your time and manage your time better, especially as a parent and as a busy business owner. Or if it's, even if you just have like a 9 to 5 and you're a parent and you're lashing or you're doing other services, or even if you don't have kids, you've got a 9 to 5, you've got lashing, you've got other service, like you have so much going on. Like you definitely, I would say, what are your priorities? Where are you spending your time? And how can you really focus on the needle moving things? So then it's like, okay, well, I didn't deep clean my studio today, but I'm gonna be able to push that tomorrow when I've got more time. And it's gonna be a lot less stressful for you, and you're gonna be able to manage your tasks a lot easier and really get to know yourself. I know for me, if I don't write things down, I don't put a reminder on my phone, I don't set an alarm, I'll probably forget some things. So I have to write everything down, and I know that about myself. I don't have to be hard on myself about it. But when I do know that about myself, I need to make sure I have those systems in place of, okay, I'm setting a reminder on my phone. I'm putting it on my calendar. I use like one calendar on my phone, everything is on it, and I know that if I have something going on, I need to put it on there so that I don't forget. And so it's like you have to get to know yourself, and I think that is really beneficial in helping you manage your time better and just be productive and feel good. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't want it to make it seem like you have to be so productive and you have to do this, or you're not a good mom, you're not a good parent, you're not a good business owner. But I know for me, when I have these systems in place and my things are getting done, I feel a lot less stressed, I feel less overwhelmed, I feel less overstimulated, and I feel good. And that's a big thing that I've talked about, I think, a little bit before, and that is a big theme for me this year is I wanna make decisions that I know will help make me feel good, that will cut the stress out for me. I know if I don't feel like doing dishes tonight, but it's gonna set me up for success in the morning and make my day go so much smoother tomorrow, so I'm gonna get my butt up and I'm gonna go do it anyway. I know those things about myself. I want to make decisions that are going to set me up for success, that are going to make me feel good. Because it doesn't feel good to be stressed and behind and overwhelmed and trying to get all the things done. That doesn't feel good for me. So I want you to take that into consideration. What decisions can you make? What habits can you make? What systems or processes or support do you need to help you feel better? To help you feel less overwhelmed, to help you feel less stressed, to manage things better. Because I promise things will go a whole lot smoother when you have those things in place and when it's something you're actively working on, because you're never going to be perfect at it. It's going to evolve, it's going to change. You'll get better at things, but you just have to keep on going. And yeah, I think that's the thoughts that I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening. If you're not already subscribed to the show, make sure you hit subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts at so that you can get notified when new episodes go live every Tuesday. And I love you. I hope you have the best week. Thank you so much for listening.